First game we're taking a look at today is Blood and Truth. This is a PlayStation VR exclusive made by the people that made the Heist demo and is fully controlled by the PlayStation Move controllers. As in the Heist, there's plenty of shooting action, this time supported by a fully fledged story spanning across multiple locations. Action is broken up by puzzles and cutscenes that allow you to use your brain and gadgets to complete your objective. I am personally very excited for this game, and it is just a shame that it isn't releasing on PC VR so far. Blood and Truth is out now for PlayStation VR. Up next is Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. You know what's on my let's not do this list? Right next to driving a shopping trolley down the stairs, playing Five Nights at Freddy's in VR. Well, guess what? It now officially exists. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted is a fully VR adaptation of the Five Nights at Freddy's games with full motion control. The game consists out of various mini-games set in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, from classic gameplay to some of the most iconic cutscenes, all rendered in VR for maximum traumas per minute. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted is out now for PlayStation VR and Steam VR. Coming in at number 3 is Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. We all know killing Nazis is fun. But you know what's more fun? Killing Nazis in a mech dog. Even more fun, killing Nazis in a mech dog with flamethrowers in virtual reality. In Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, you take control of a Nazi mech dog to aid the French resistance. Players will be able to use the dog to shoot, burn, bash and stomp their way to freedom through the streets of Paris, leaving a sea of Nazi corpses in their wake. Wolfenstein Cyberpilot is releasing somewhere in June 2019. At number 4 we have FREEDIVER Triton Down. In this rather claustrophobic VR game, you have to navigate your way around a sunken ship with no oxygen tanks. This game uses full motion control for swimming and completing tasks and puzzles. This game looks really interesting and different and gives me some Subnautica vibes. If you've always wanted to have an immersive experience of drowning alone in the dark, you can now, as FREEDIVER Triton Down is available for purchase on Steam VR right now. Next up is Zed. Although the name makes it sound like a generic zombie game, it is very far from that. Zed is a surrealistic VR experience with puzzles which kinda remind me of a point-and-click adventure. In this game you are an artist suffering from dementia who is trying to connect the dots in his mind to finish an artwork for a very special person. If you're looking for something more relaxing and mindful to play, Zed is available right now on Steam VR. At number 6 we have Differently Fast, a game which is best described as a competitive VR wheelchair racing game. This game is wacky as all hell, but actually looks really fun and intuitive. You race wheelchairs using your arms to spin the wheels as you would when driving an actual wheelchair. The game features single and multiplayer racing and a variety of characters to pick from. The game is still in development but has come into early access of this month. If you're up for some wheelchair racing, Differently Fast is available in early access now on Steam VR. Our next game is Trench Run, a classic dogfighting game set in the Star Wars universe, although the Disney hitman standing behind me does not like it when I call it that. So we'll just take the Trench Run for now. In Trench Run you fight fiery dogfights in space and above the surface of something that definitely is not a moon. The game can be controlled with an Xbox controller or with motion controls depending on your preference. Graphics look decent, but I am mostly just excited to get very motion sick flying definitely not Star Wars fighters in virtual reality. Trench Run VR is set for release somewhere in June 2019. At number 8 we have DownStream Whitewater Kayaking VR, which we'll just call DownStream. DownStream is a VR throw yourself off a mountain on a river in a tiny boat simulator controlled with motion controllers. In this kayaking extravaganza, it is your objective to complete various kayaking courses on a fast flowing river using your hands as paddles as you would in real life. This game looks like a lot of fun and I would love to see this get a multiplayer mode and maybe some crazy custom maps. DownStream will release somewhere in June 2019. Our second to last entry on our list is Thundergod, a rather pretty looking little VR game centered around throwing hammers at people like a certain Marvel character does. In this game you have to protect a small Norse village from invading trolls, demons and tourists by carving in their skulls using your powers and hammer throwing skills. I'd say this is a game that lends itself very well for being ported to the Oculus Quest, and I sure hope we'll eventually see it there. Thundergod is available right now on Steam VR. And last but not least, at number 10 we have Space Ops VR. Space Ops is a game to display your hatred of bugs as you slaughter them by the thousands in this crazy sci-fi co-op shooter. Space Ops features full motion controls, free locomotion, 4-player co-op, and various guns to customize to your playstyle. Be warned though, because early reviews of this game are stating it's a tad on the difficult side as of filming this, so if you're in for a relaxing genocide, this might not be the game for you. Space Ops is out now on Steam VR.